Hey guys, my name is Rachel Gallagher. I'm an Emerald Plexus and I have been doing Plexus for about 6.5 years. So I've definitely had several seasons of life. I've gone through many seasons of life where I've had to really rework my business and figure out what's worked for me. And I've had a lot of learning curves on the way. I've learned from a lot of mistakes. So hopefully I can help you with something that today can really simplify your business and hopefully help you get more organized, that when you do sit down and work your business, you have a plan. So with that, I'm going to go over brain dumping today. Brain dumping is something that I learned about on a training call where I learned all my things several years ago. And even through all the different phases of my life, from being single to teaching and doing Plexus to being out of the classroom and only doing Plexus, because I do not teach anymore. I used to be a fourth grade teacher, but now I solely do Plexus, praise the Lord. And then now I have two little kids. I have a almost 2-year-old, and then I have a 4-month-old. So through all those different seasons of life, brain dumping has really helped me be organized in my business so that no matter how much time I have to spend on my business, it's effective. And I don't leave my workspace thinking, what did I even get done today? Because we have all been there, I feel like, where we sit down and we're going to work and then we don't have a plan and we get up and we're like, great, that was a waste of 2 hours. Or we, scroll through on social media or whatever. So brain dumping is what we're going over today. If you listen to this and it's something that resonates with you and it's something that you want to learn more about, there's tons of podcasts about it. There is YouTube videos over it that will help you dive deeper, but I'm just going to do a short little rundown of how I do it. Everyone's different. So notice I said how I do it. If you're not a paper pen person, this is how I plan as paper pen, then make this work for you with all your like smart notes or whatever y'all do that have all the smart stuff on your phone. I just don't do that. Okay, so this is what I do. Every Sunday night, guys, I brain dump. Brain dumping, the theory behind it is our mind is full of like all this stuff we need to do. I need to go to the cleaners. I have a doctor's appointment. I got to take my kid here. I got to do this with my husband. I have to do this for my full-time job over here. And we get very overwhelmed in all of our tasks for the week. I have a feeling if you hear that word overwhelmed, you're like, yep, been there, done that. And then what happens whenever we're overwhelmed? Me personally, I kind of shut down. That's what I do when I'm overwhelmed. I shut down. I don't get anything done. And then I feel even more overwhelmed because I'm even further behind. So that's the point of this, is to get everything in your brain on paper, to empty your brain out. So dump your brain of all the thoughts, and then to organize your to-do list into days and break it apart to make them more manageable, the tasks. So I did a little example of what I do. So when I sit down, it's typically Sunday night is when I do it. Choose a day that works best for you. Sunday night's my night where I sit down, I brain dump for the week. My husband also does this for him. So then we can kind of compare what we have going on and talk about our schedules, which also, y'all, is going to help with your husband being less frustrated with you working Plexus if you have a plan and communicate it with him. Communication is key there. So what I do is I have two little columns that I make, since Plexus is my full-time job. I don't have another one. If you have another job, I would probably put personal Plexus in your job. So what I do is I brain dump one thing at a time. I go over my personal stuff first. I write down everything I have to do that week for personal life. That includes, like I said on here, I just gave examples. I just made them up. But date night, dentist, Mother's Day out, dropping my kid off, getting groceries, lunch with a friend. I even put Target stroll in there because one day maybe I want to grab a coffee and just walk around Target. Mark that stuff in your calendar so that when you do it, also you don't feel guilty and you can have fun and you don't have to be thinking like, oh my gosh, I had this Plexus thing dingling over my head. It's like, no, I time block that. I'm going to go do it. And then on my Plexus side, so brain dump everything personal and then brain dump everything Plexus. So every single thing you have to do for your business. Nothing is too small. Nothing is too big. Write it all down. So just some examples, I put credit card declines in your back office, inviting people to events, looking at perks points, who's going to lose them, so you can reach out, following up with people you've made touches with about Plexus, watching Monday Motivation, getting on a team call, posting on social media. Those are all things you can put in your brain dump. Okay, so then what I do is I get my handy dandy calendar. I have a desk calendar. This is Creature of Habit from teaching. I have a desk calendar. And what I do is I then take off my tasks from my brain dump and I fill in my week. So I just go down line by line and then fill in the days of the week for the tasks that I need to do. So this is where I'm going to ask you to be realistic, guys. I'm going to tell you, like, let's say you want to invite someone to a Plexus event. The event's on Wednesday. So you're probably going to invite Monday or Tuesday. Monday already looks pretty full before I even start filling stuff in the calendar. This is pre-existing stuff I already have on my calendar. So Monday's probably not a great day for me to invite people to an event. But you know what? Tuesday's pretty open. Maybe I should put invite people to an event on Tuesday, because here's the deal. If you overpack your day, again, you're going to feel like you failed because you're not going to get to all your tasks. So be realistic when you're lining out your items in here and you're putting them on days of the week. If Tuesday's pretty empty for you because your kid goes to Mother's Day out, do a lot of Plexus work on a Tuesday. I would give you this tip as well. Fill in your personal life first. Plexus should not come before your personal life. Your family is always going to be more important. That's a whole nother TED talk over here that I could go over, but your family is more important than your job. So put your personal stuff in first. You don't want to schedule a Plexus event on the night that your kid has a softball game. You don't want to schedule something if you and your husband already have a day date planned. You don't want to do that, because that's whenever one, your work is not effective and you're just kind of going through the motions, and people can read through that. And also you're not giving your best. But then the person, how fun is it if you go on a date with your spouse and your spouse just grabs their phone and they're on the phone the whole time? It's not. I would rather just not go, because that's annoying. So make sure you're putting your personal life first, fill it in, and then realistically schedule in your Plexus life around when you can work it. The joy of that, guys, is this, that when you brain dump, you're going to have more of a plan for your day, so that when you sit down, let's say you do have, okay, I have 20 minutes to work Plexus here. You already can pull out your calendar and just look and say, okay, for today, I had this, this, and this scheduled. In this 20 minutes, which of those 3 things can I get done? You know what? I could probably make a little script, a generic script, and then tweak it for a couple people and shoot out messages to invite them to an event. That you can do. You can voice message people in that time. You can follow up in that time. You can look at your perks reports in that time, whatever it is, whatever that task that you had brain dumped earlier in the week written down. That way, whenever you do sit down and work, you're like, oh, okay, I'm going to knock this out real fast, knock it out, check it off. And then you feel accomplished. And what happens when you feel accomplished? It feels good. So you're going to come back and do it again. And you're going to come back and accomplish another item off your list. And that's going to make you want to come back and do something else. It creates a little momentum, because no one likes to feel like a failure. Okay. So that's my little brain dumping spiel. Short, quick. We only had a few minutes. If you're someone who wants to look at more, definitely YouTube it. There's so much stuff on this. Oh, another tip that I do is every night before I go to bed, let's say it's Tuesday night and I'm brain dumping for Wednesday, I pull my calendar back out and I look at my calendar for Wednesday, just so I can have like a little picture of what's happening the next day. So it reminds me like, oh yeah, I have that event tomorrow. I have this, I have that. And then you can talk to your spouse about it, make sure the kids are taken care of, or whatever you need to do. So I brain dump once on Sunday for the whole week. And then every night I get my calendar back out and look what's happening the next day, just to kind of keep me on pace or remind me if I need to do something. And then guys, also, let's say on Monday, you didn't get one of the items on your list done. That's okay. Move it to Tuesday and knock it out on Tuesday. So you're going to have a little bit more work on Tuesday, but you're still going to feel accomplished when you do it. So that is my little brain dumping spiel. I want y'all to practice this on your own. After this video, sit down, brain dump. And guys, if you don't get it right the first week, that's okay. Most things take at least 6 weeks before you really feel comfortable doing them on a weekly basis, or you feel comfortable doing it or feel like, oh yeah, I kind of got this. Like I get this concept now. So get off this call, brain dump, schedule things out. And I promise you, your work time is going to feel so much more effective. And if you're not a planner, don't use as an excuse. I am not either, but you have to plan if you're going to be successful in this business. You have to. You can wing it for a while, but then all of a sudden you wake up and you're like, what do I do? So go ahead and catch that now, get in the habit of it now. So when your team does get really large and you have lots to manage, you can handle it. And it's not that big, ugly O word, overwhelming. Bye guys.